Hi friends, welcome back to Teaching in Room 9, our region's largest classroom. My name's Julia and I'm one of the second grade teachers at the Soulard School. Here for Teaching in Room 9, all of my lessons focus on math for second graders. Welcome back friends, I hope you've had a really wonderful week. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start by doing our mindful minute exercise. So that way we will be focused and ready to learn. So all week we've just been doing our deep mindful breathing. So again, you're gonna sit up nice and straight and tall, open up your airways, relax your body, your tension in your muscles, try to release any of that, relax your mind, try to only focus on your breathing. And I'm gonna talk to you a little bit here too. So when we breathe in through our nose, we count to 3, and out through our mouth, we do the same, we count to 3. If it helps you to stay really present in the moment and really focused on our activity, you may close your eyes as well. All right, friends, go ahead, take a deep breath in through your nose. And out. Nicely done, friends. Keep taking those deep breaths in and out and in and out. And I just wanted to talk to you a little bit. We've been focusing on being a kind friend to yourself in the same way that you would be a kind friend to others. So the last thing I wanted us to focus on was the different ways that you are able to accept yourself and your feelings. Sometimes it is so easy for us to be a good friend to others, and then when we're talking to ourselves in our own mind, we sometimes maybe aren't quite so nice. I know I definitely struggle with this sometimes. So it's good for us to get in the practice of doing different things, like thinking about traits that we look for in our friends and remembering to be kind and respectful and supportive of yourself as well. Giving yourself gentle squeezes to comfort yourself when you're feeling overwhelmed. Really just taking that time to take some deep breaths and say some positive affirmations to yourself in your mind. And then I want to talk about some of the different ways you can accept yourself too. So the first thing is accepting your feelings. So even though if sometimes maybe you start to kind of go down that road of not maybe saying the nicest things to yourself or getting really frustrated, maybe you're struggling to understand something at school, you're starting to feel really frustrated. And I know whenever I don't understand something, it starts to make me feel like I'm not very smart. And just remembering that you can acknowledge that you are feeling frustrated, but trying not to put any weight behind that thought that is a negative self-talk. Sometimes finding humor in things can be helpful, trying to make yourself laugh, trying to make others laugh when they're feeling down is a nice way to kind of take everybody's mind off of that and think of something really silly. Something else that I really just kind of want to focus on is that just recognizing that negative self-talk is real. It is something that happens all the time with children, with adults, people all over. They do talk to themselves negatively sometimes. So recognizing that it is something that happens. Talking about it, maybe you can talk about it with a trusted adult that you have around you in your life, like a teacher or a parent. And just saying, like, I know that sometimes I do this, and maybe thinking of ways that you can make sure that we're not always talking negatively about ourselves. Trying to have a growth mindset. So instead of thinking like, I'll never get it, thinking things like, I just haven't gotten it yet. You always want to surround yourself in a positive environment, especially when you're starting to feel really overwhelmed. So maybe having that safe space in your home or in your classroom where you can process those feelings. Trying to give yourself little praises, little wins that you can celebrate every single day. And also thinking about things like best failures. So this could be something that maybe you talk about at the dinner table with your family. What are some of the things that you failed at that day? So instead of giving it that power of that like really negative, horrible thing, let's all talk about it. We all have little failures every day. It's no big deal. And the best part about a little failure is you get a chance to learn and grow. All right, friends. So hopefully, talking about these different ways this week about how you can be kind to yourself, especially during this time right now, friends. There's so much going on in the world, and everything feels so big and so out of control. So be kind to yourself, friends. Know that you are loved, you are cared for, and we're going to get through this together. All right. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. We've been talking about this week, we've been focusing on coins again and making connections to some of the things that we've practiced with place value. Okay. So we talked about how 5 pennies is 5 cents. That's the same as a nickel, which reminds me of when we make those tallies. And when you get to 5, you make a bundle of 5, just like 5 cents or a nickel can be like a bundle for those 5 pennies. We also talked about how when you get 10 pennies all together, you have 10 cents and they can transform into a dime. So it made me think of when we have 10 ones and then they turn into that tens rod. Then we also talked about when you get 100, when you have 100 cents or 100 ones, they come together to make a hundreds block. So 100 cents would be the same as $1. And it's also the same as in here, you also have 10 tens and 10 dimes or 10 cents also makes $1. Nicely done, friends. You'll get to see some of those similarities right now when we do our number of the day activity today. So if you don't have something to write with, go ahead and grab something really quick. And we are going to work our way through using different representations of our numbers and then ending with how can we use coins to get that same value or that same amount. Okay, so hopefully my friends are starting to make their way back. Your number of the day today. Are you ready for it? It is 129. 129. So go ahead and write 129 at the top of your page so that you know exactly what we are working with here. 129. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is write 129 in expanded form. Expanded form expands it out to show the value of each place. Okay, are you ready? Let's it up in 3, 2, 1. Nicely done. If you have 100 plus 20 plus 9, you nailed it, friends. 129 has a 1 in the hundreds place, and that means there is 100. So 100 plus, we always have our pluses to show that if we put our all these values together, we will get that same total. And then we added 2 in the tens place, so that would have 2 tens is a value of 20 plus 9 ones. Nicely done. Maybe my friends are already getting so familiar with this that you remember that next is word form. So write out 129 in word form. Sound it out as best you can. These 3-digit numbers are really they take more time to write it out, right? So there's a lot of words in here. 129. Hopefully you're finishing that up. You ready? Okay, we're gonna hold it up. 3, 2, 1. Nicely done. If this is what you had, you are absolutely correct. 1, O-N-E is our number form for that word, or word form for that number. And then hundred. A lot of my friends sometimes will put an I because it sounds like 100. It's actually 100. And then 20, T-Y, and 9, N-I-N-E. All right, next comes your base 10 blocks. So draw 129 using base 10 blocks. Okay. Should be getting really familiar with this right by now, right, friends? Okay, go ahead and hold it up. Nice. I can see that a lot of my friends do the exact same thing. If not, no worries, right? Mistakes are okay because it helps us to learn and to grow. 100, 2 tens, 10, 20, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 ones. 129. Now we're to the fun part where we are going to take 129. 129 cents is $1.29. How can we get $1.29? Okay, go ahead and draw it out, friends. My drawings are starting to get a little crazy. All right. You ready, friends? You can go ahead and hold it up. 3, 2, 1. Nice. So I see this is the easiest way. We've been working all week too with using the least amount. So we've got $1. Then I go to my next biggest amount, and that would be a quarter. So 25 cents. And then if I did a dime, so $1.25, that would be $1.35, and that's too much. If I did my nickel, that would be $1.30. Very close, but just not quite. We're just one shy, right? So $1, 1 quarter, so $1.25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And then if I just wanted to use coins, I would again start with that biggest value. So 25, 50, 75, $1.25. So a total of 5 quarters. And then now we're at $1.25, 26, 27, 28, 29. We cannot use any other coins because of that being 29 instead of. It's so close to 30, but just not quite. There's so many different ways, friends, that we can put together $1.29. Another way you could do it would be $1, 2 dimes, 1 nickel, and 4 pennies. So $1 is $1. It's 100 cents. And 2 dimes would be 10, 20, a nickel, 25, and then 26, 27, 28, 29. So that's another way. There are countless ways. Like I said, too, the bigger you get, the more value that you have, or that amount is bigger. There are so many different ways that you are able to switch it up and use a variety of different coins. Okay, friends, so but just as a refresher for your brains, our learning goal this week is I can find the value. So we're working again with coins, less focused on coin recognition and more focused on really practicing those values and using a variety of different strategies. We've also been able to talk about the least amount, so that if we are trying to get a certain amount, what is the fewest number of coins that we could use? And that's a good one to practice, just because that's what we would try to do in real life. So then kind of getting used to thinking that way will help you when you actually are using money and buying things out in the real world. So we are going to go ahead and practice that here together. Let's just quickly review our chart. We've got our first coin is our penny. Only copper one, second smallest in size. It is worth 1 cent and has our friend Abraham Lincoln right here on the front. And then all the other coins here are silver coins. So our next one is a nickel, and that is worth 5 cents. And it has Thomas Jefferson on it. And then we come down to our dime. This is our smallest in size, but not in value. It is worth 10 cents. 1 dime is worth 10 cents. It, like they said, smallest in size. It's got Franklin Roosevelt on the front. And then our last one over here is our largest in size and also largest in value is 25 cents for that quarter. It has George Washington on the front, and it says on the back, quarter dollar because it is 1/4 of a dollar, 1/4 of a dollar. 4 quarters equals $1. All right, nicely done. You ready to say our money chant nice and loud? Okay, ready? Penny, penny, easily spent, copper, brown and worth 1 cent. Nickel, nickel, thick and fat, you're worth 5 cents, I know that. Dime, dime, little and thin, I remember you're worth 10. Quarter, quarter, big and bold, you're worth 25, I am told. Nicely done. Hopefully you are really familiar with that chant now. Makes it really nice and easy to remember our coins when we get a little bit stuck. All right, so it is time, friends, to work on practicing our amounts with using our hairy money. All right, so I got my jar here ready. Oops. Shake it up, shake it, shake it. Try to get a good amount on this one. Okay, oh, I got a lot here, friends. Oy, oy, oy. All right, are you ready? So I've got 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, 4 quarters. I'm gonna have to draw really small on this, friends, because I have so many coins here. All right, so I have 4 quarters. Quarter, quarter, big and bold, you're worth 25, I am told. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dimes. Dime, dime, little and thin, I remember you're worth 10. Okay, and then we've got 2 nickels. Okay, nickel, nickel, thick and fat, you're worth 5 cents, I know that. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pennies. Penny, penny, easily spent, copper, brown, and worth 1 cent. Okay, we've got a lot of money here, friends. So we got to get to drawing. Okay, all right, so try to draw kind of teeny tiny on this one. Okay, there are 4 quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, who remembers how many hairs does a quarter get? 1 hair equals, that's a hair, not an S, 5 cents. That's our key. 1 hair is worth 5 cents. So quarters get, yes, nice memory, 5 hairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we're getting really hairy already. Next is 5 dimes. 5 dimes, which are worth 10 cents, which is where my brain was there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, dimes get how many hairs? If 1 hair is worth 5 cents, a dime is 10 cents. So it would get 2 hairs. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, next up is 2 nickels. If 1 hair is worth 5 cents, how many hairs does a nickel get? Yeah, just 1. And then we had 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pennies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And pennies get how many hairs? None. They are bald as can be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I like to put those dots so I don't forget to count them. Wowie kazowie, friends. Look at that hairy money. All right, so we are counting by 5s. So I'm not going to have room to write the amount. So you're going to have to stay with me, friends, as we count all these hairs. Okay, and we'll see how much we have all together and figure out how we can use a smaller amount of coins. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. 2 quarters. 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 3/4, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100 cents. 100 cents. Is that the same as something else? Okay, we'll get there in a little bit. Let's keep going. So we're at 100 cents here. 105, 110, 115, 120, 125, 130, 135, 140, 145, 150, 150 cents. We just finished our dimes. Now we've got 150, 155, 160, and then our ones. So 160, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 166 cents. Is there another way that we could write that? Oh, I heard someone say using the dollar sign. You're absolutely right. $1.66. So I'm about to erase all this hairy math. Ready? Bye, hairy money. So $1.66. You did amazing counting all those hairs. So $1.66. What is the least amount of coins or dollars can we use to get $1.66? So we start with our largest unit or value. So that would be our dollar here. So we've got $1 here. Can I use $2? Yeah, no, I can't, because that would give me $2, which is the same as 200 cents. And I need $1.66, so it's too much. So we've got $1. All right, then I go to my next biggest coin in value, which is, what's our biggest one on here? Yes, quarter, big and bold. You're worth 25, I'm told. Okay, so we've got 1/4 is 25. How much is 2/4? Who remembers? Yes, 50. Nice. Okay, can I do a 3rd quarter? I've got $1 here and 50 cents. I'm trying to get to $1.66. What do you think? Can we get to $1.66 and add another quarter? I heard a friend say, I cannot, nope, use another quarter. How much would it be if I had another quarter on here? Right now I've got $1, 25.50. If I added on a 3rd quarter, I would have, yes, nice. I would have $1.75, and that is too much. So now I'm where I'm at with my quarters. My next biggest coin. What's my next biggest coin in value from this chart here? We've already used quarter. What's our next one? Yes, dime, little and thin. I remember you're worth 10. So here's 1 dime is our next one. Here's $1, 50, and 1 dime is 60. So I'm at $1.60 right now. Now, can I use another dime? I cannot, because if I add another dime, 10 more than 60 is $1.70, and that's too much. So we go to my next biggest friend, which is in value. Yes, nice job. Nickel, thick and fat. You're worth 5 cents. I know that. Okay, so let's add a nickel. So $1, 50, 65. Then how do I get up to $1.66? I add 1 little penny. So this would be using the fewest amount of coins or dollars for this here. So you can see here. So I can do so many different things, but if I'm trying to use my fewest amount of coins, this is how I would do it. All right, let's do another one, friends. You are getting so good at this. I'm so impressed, and I love your brains. All right, get ready to shake, shake, shake. Okay. Do a smaller amount this time. That was a lot. Oh, okay, let's see. What do we have here? 1 quarter, 2 quarters. Okay. Then I have 2 dimes. So these are little dimes and 2 nickels. And I can see I do not have any pennies. I don't have any pennies. All right. So ready to draw it out, friends? And then we can make it nice and hairy. All right. So you've got 1 quarter is 25 cents. And a 2nd quarter is 25 cents. I'm not sure why my quarters are so big this time. How many hairs does a quarter get? 1 hair equals 5 cents. Yes, good memory. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I feel like when I put the hairs this way, the quarters kind of look like jellyfish. Okay, next I have 2 dimes. Dimes are worth 10. So 10 would get how many hairs? Yes, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then I had 2 nickels. And if 1 hair is worth 5, nickels would each get just 1 little hair each. And then pennies are bold, they get no hair, but we don't have to think about it this time because we don't have any pennies. All right, you ready to count by 5s? Let's do it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Nice, we did our 2 quarters, right? 55, 60, 65, 70, 5, 80. 80 cents, friends. Nice counting. Now, if I wanted to do this using the fewest amount of coins, so we've got 80 cents. I'll write it down for you. 80 cents. If I want to use 80 cents using the fewest amount of coins, any guesses for what it might be? Okay, so when I'm trying to figure out fewest coins for 80 cents, I think about my biggest value. I can't start with $1 because it's less than $1, so I can't use that. So I come to my quarters. Could I use more than just those 2? Oh, I heard a friend say I could use 3 quarters. That friend must have remembered that 3 quarters is worth 75 cents, and that's less than 80. So I can, in fact, use 3 quarters. So if I'm doing it that way, it would be, 25. There we go. 25, 50, 75. Now, how do I get from 75 to 80? Oh, yeah, I think a friend said that it is only 5 more. Is there a coin that's worth 5 cents? Oh, yes, a nickel is worth 5 cents. Nickel, nickel, thick and fat, you're worth 5 cents. I know that. All right, friends, we are all done for today. You worked so hard, and I'm so proud of you. Thank you for stretching your brains, working so hard together with me. You are amazing. Enjoy practicing hairy math. See if you can find some change around your house and practice drawing some hairy math. All right, I'll see you next time.
Teaching in Room 9 is made possible with support of Bank of America, Dana Brown Charitable Trust, Emerson, and viewers like you.